don't even know why I'm trying to act all excited. I'm still mad about my YouTube short. I'm still mad about my YouTube short that I uploaded Friday, and it still didn't get uploaded. That's what I'm still mad about. So I don't even want to, don't, look. What does it say? What does this say? 2 hours, 25 minutes still uploaded from Friday. I'm like, let me just finish putting some cream on my face. Happy Sunday. I am excited to be here though, because you know what? I got the headphones. See what I mean? Like, I did get the headphones. They came Friday and I was trying to YouTube short. Hey, I got the headphones. Hopefully we won't have no more audio issues and wouldn't even let my YouTube short get uploaded. Tragic. That's all I can say. Tragic. I saw this. Just give me a second real quick, because I saw. Oh my goodness. Let me get my seat. I saw this YouTube short from Sammy. Excuse me. Can you hear me? I'm just trying to check to make sure that the audio is decent. Can you hear me? Hold on, let me see. I'm just trying to check to make sure that the... Okay. Who is that? Oh. Hi. Hello. Hi. Happy Sunday. I'm ready for Tuesday. I don't know why. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Can I go to Sammy real quick? Because Sammy had dropped a YouTube short. I don't know. It was a clip from... He should be subscribed. Very good sound. Thank you, Andy, so much. I appreciate your feedback so very much. Thank you. I needed somebody in the chat to tell me if they could hear me or not. Thank you so much, Andy. Let me go to his shorts. Go, Sammy. Where's your shorts? This was a part of a set. Check him out. I think, hold on, let me make sure this is it. That's not the one that I'm looking for. Oh, wait. Please move this chair out of the way. Did he delete it? Let me see.
Iran made a video about Charlie Kirk. I didn't even...
This is it. Okay. Let's just hear him out real quick. And then...
in their wheelhouse. It was literally a video. You have this Iranian general just sitting in a chair with his face blurred. He's speaking in English, which means it's to me, okay? But it has an Iranian accent. I know it's an Iranian accent because I lived in LA for 10 years. Like, let me tell you about a Charlie Kirk. I'm like, what do you got for me, General? He's like, did you know Charlie Kirk was killed by your government? I was like, yes, I did know that.
Do we need to be taking notes? Because...
And I did, actually. He's like, well, while we were hacking Kash Patel for funsies, we got into FBI's mainframe, no big deal. Apparently the password's Valhalla 1.
snaky hair scares me. Snaky hair. Is that Tushan? Tusha or Tushan?
And we found documents that revealed your government plotted the murder of Charlie Kirk, and it
Would you prefer I have fake hair? You want me to some fake horse hair, some hair from somebody else who cut theirs off and sold it? Would you? Right. Okay. Exactly.
according to
Don't
plan.
start. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Please, 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 please. Just appreciate the fact that it's the real hair. I have to grow it from me head.
What? Our government botched an assassination attempt? We would never. He says, well, no, Charlie Kirk was not killed by a bullet. He was killed by an explosive device planted into his microphone that was clipped to his shirt.
So the microphone was clipped to Charlie Kirk's shirt.
I know. Mind blown. Better choice of words? Sure. I'm sure a lot of people are asking, what? Who can even plant an explosive device in a small piece of technology and detonate it remotely? Who would do that? But it's a thing, and it is real. 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 And it's Israel. Pagers in Lebanon. By the way,
Pagers in Lebanon? Greetings from Mongolia. Oh, Mongolia is in the building. Hello, hello. I think I'm going to go to Baron next. I think I'm going to just have to go to Baron. It's hard not to interrupt him because I heard this last night. It might have been last night. It might have been Friday night. I don't know.
Trevor, Best Buy? Was it Tel Aviv Tech? Okay. He said the device was supposed to explode downward into Charlie's chest cavity to make it seem like a clean gunshot wound to the chest, so we would all be like, oh my god, he was shot. And they'd thumbs up the fake Tyler on the roof. They're like, good job, buddy. We'll see you in Valhalla. But it didn't go according to plan because the device misfired. Like, where have I heard that before? And a piece of shrapnel shot through Charlie's neck, and it came out to the place that we were supposed to see the bullet going in. Now, this was the part that he said that blew... Okay. This was the part he said that really opened my eyes.
Yeah, African American. I mean, like, a little bit.
Because it misfired and because it exploded in all sorts of which ways, a bunch of pieces of shrapnel flew everywhere, and a lot of them went down and lodged themselves deep into the concrete where Charlie Kirk was speaking. And
I said that I should have been taking notes because it was so much going on. It was so much said. I couldn't. I was listening to it and I was like, okay, so okay, hold on just a second. So number one is okay, hold on, let me get my notes. Let me start it over. But I gotta take notes at this point. I'm gonna just go back just a little bit,
General. And he's like, did you know Charlie Kirk was killed by your government?
Okay. Oh, I don't need you full screen. I need you split screen. Okay. So the government killed Charlie Kirk. Okay, that's number one.
Yes, I did know that. I did actually. He's like, well, while we were hacking Cash Patel for funsies, we got into your FBI's mainframe, no big deal. Apparently the password's Valhalla123. And we found documents that revealed that your government plotted the murder of Charlie Kirk, and it didn't go according to plan.
So we should put plotted and killed Charlie Kirk.
our government launched an assassination attempt? We would never. He says, well, no, Charlie Kirk was not killed by a bullet. He was killed.
So Charlie Kirk was not killed by a bullet. Well,
By an explosive device planted into his microphone.
it seems as though Charlie Kirk was killed by what he said, explosive device planted into. This is a brand that I'm loyal to. I'm loyal to that Deer Park. I am loyal to Deer Park. Charlie Kirk was killed by an explosive device planted into his microphone.
To his shirt. I know. Mind blown. Better choice of words? Sure. I'm sure a lot of people are asking, who can even plant an explosive device in a small piece of technology and detonate it remotely? Who would do that? But it's a thing, and it is real. And it is real. And it is real. And it is real. And it is real.
But also remember that we heard about that the company that planted or that makes and merged these two together.
And it's Israel.
Was blown up or something like that.
The Patriots in Lebanon. By the way, where do
he said something about pagers in Lebanon. I didn't hear about pagers in Lebanon. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Hold on just a second. Let me. I don't have anything about pagers. I don't have anything about pagers. I don't have anything about pagers. I don't remember hearing anything about Lebanon. Is that? This was back in 2024. Hezbollah hit by exploding pagers in Lebanon and Syria. Like, I feel like I remember reading about that. And I just kept thinking to myself, who has pagers? And then I remember something about it was only like medical staff, like, doctors and stuff. Cause it was so weird. Like, that's why I checked my my calendar, because I'm like, I do remember reading something about that, but I was like, I thought that it was like a lot of medical staff that used pagers, and I kept thinking like, well, what service is servicing pagers? Like AT&T, Verizon, who got pager services? Make me want to get a pager.
Best Buy?
I don't be talking to people like that. I ain't got no friends, so.
Is it Tel Aviv Tech? Okay. He said the device was supposed to explode downward into Charlie's chest cavity to make it seem like a clean gunshot wound to the chest, so we would all be like, oh my god, he was shot. And they'd thumbs up the fake Tyler on the roof. Like, good job, buddy. We'll see you in Valhalla. But it didn't go according to plan because the device misfired. Like, where have I heard that before? And a piece of shrapnel shot through Charlie's neck, and it came out to the place that we were supposed to see the bullet going in. Now, this was the part that he said that blew... Okay. This was the part he said that really... my eyes. He said because it misfired and because it exploded in all sorts of which ways, a bunch of pieces of shrapnel flew everywhere, and a lot of them went down and lodged themselves deep into the concrete where Charlie Kirk was speaking. And this.
So now we have pieces of shrapnel. Shall we say microphone shrapnel was lodged into the concrete below the tent, under the tent. under the tent. Huh. Interesting. This is getting wicked.
The next day, a bunch of people came to repave the entire area.
Someone talked about that. I think it was Nicey, however you want to say her name. There was a company. She figured out who the company was. A company was, and it was like a Mormon company who don't even work on Sundays or whatever day that was. I don't know. Hold on. Let me finish typing. The company was hired to come and pave over the area immediately afterwards. So nobody got a picture, video of that? Won't have no crime scene photos. There was no crime scene photos taken.
Kirk is shot, and the next morning, a bunch of random guys from God knows where in Israel.
Was it next morning? What was the 10th? The 10th was that Wednesday? The next morning would have been...
Come and start repaving the entire asphalt. It's like you could have chose a better time to do that. This is literally the weirdest, most eerie part of the Charlie Kirk case, aside from Erica. It is the second strangest part about the case. Like, if you were watching a crime drama, like CSI Orem, and somebody gets shot, and then, like, moments later, like, oh, nothing to see here. We're just repaving the whole area. That would be like a 10-part series where they're trying to figure out, like, who the are these contractors? And so then the Iranian general was like, and this is how you know it was your government who killed Charlie Kirk. Like and subscribe to my page. Click the bell. I was like, do you have Lego contact? The Iranian intelligence, they understand the American mind because they know that Charlie Kirk is a very sensitive issue in the United States. They understand that even better than I did. Because after Charlie Kirk was shot, I honestly didn't even know that much about him. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. But I still did a stand-up routine because that's what I do. I would do it to any of you. Don't take it personally. I posted it on YouTube, and YouTube took it down instantly. That's never happened to me in the history of my whole career. And you've seen some of the things I talk about. That's how many people flagged it, saying no, they were upset, they're very sensitive about it. I didn't know you can't make jokes the same day. All right, that was stuff on my part. I should have at least waited for the cement to dry.
It got 2.2 million views. Like I said, I think I saw it Friday. I'm talking about that thing was going viral. It got 2.2 million views. Yeah, 2.2. Let's just go to Barron. It's Sunday. You know, and Kevin didn't drop, so. But he did drop Thursday, so that's why I wasn't really complaining. Not like I had anything to complain about, but let me tap in and give myself a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thank you everybody for your thumbs up. I appreciate it so very much. Thumbs up. Thank you everybody for your thumbs up. Thank you for your. My ankle is a little school bag. Barron is talking about data centers. I wish they would get off of my algorithm with this Blueface Krishan crap. Just be hoarding the algorithm with all that foolishness. I don't know what's going on over there with Fulio. Let me see. I'm just scrolling. Like I said, I want to go on over there to Barron. I haven't watched Adrian in a minute. I might need to go ahead and. Oh, and then Candace sat down with Elizabeth Lane. Drake, no, I cannot watch none of his copyrighted stuff. 4.5 million views since what, 2 days ago. You know doggone well I can't watch none of that. Whisper my name. Man. Anyway. Let me just see what's going on over here with Elizabeth Lane,
Wait,
because I actually
how
didn't
old is the new
watch
hire?
it.
I don't know, but he literally uses
Let me
Excel.
just- I'm not gonna open my phone today.
You must be the new analyst.
Sunday?
First day.
Candace Owens, thank you so much.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here with you. So,
Elizabeth Lane, remember she was the one that had wrote that let me see what would be the correct terminology for it. Was it a thesis paper? It was something she had wrote about that Eric Kerr. It was so funny.
that I'm a huge fan of yours,
Yeah,
and
for
no
sure.
matter how many people are out there trying to bring you down, I'm always gonna be on your side.
For sure.
Hope nothing changes unless one day.
And she's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. We didn't even get to see her. Like I didn't see how she looked. Okay, Bob. It's giving Bob. Okay, it's giving what's that little girl name off of the Grinch? Cindy who? Lil Nose. I don't know what's her Elizabeth Lane. I don't even know what's her nationality. It's giving Dominican, Puerto Rican. It's giving somebody Saudi. I don't know. It's something. Come on, honey, finish. Let me see what she's talking about.
Come out and you start, pushing Zionist propaganda, then I might have to leave you. Then.
It's Dominican.
I think we can safely say that day will
Okay, gray shirt, pink. What is this? A bracelet? Is this a watch? Okay, shoes, closed toe. She look like she got a tattoo.
Okay, perfect.
With her damn clipboard, honey. Nails pink, French tip. Oh, pink. Okay.
No,
She cool too.
I thought about this interview.
She is it Mexican? Is Hispanic? Is somebody? I don't know. It'd be so many of them. That's like not well. I know Mexican is different from like Puerto Rican, and I think Hispanic is like the conglomerate of it. I don't listen.
When I was coming over here,
Don't quote me on that.
I was like, what do I want to,
She speaks Spanish for sure.
where
Oh, her nails are purple. Okay. I see it. Okay, that was a watch. I thought it was a bracelet. Child, you have to check everything out, honey.
want to go with this? Because everyone knows, Candace, you're so open out there with people. I think that's why they love you so much, because
Child, we love
you
the
speak for
shit out
them.
of her ass.
That's that's how I see you, my reflection of you. So I wanted to start with
What's up?
a story
Okay.
of Charlie Kirk
Uh-oh.
that no one knows.
Ooh.
Something that brings you happiness, something that you
Joy.
can remember and share with us.
Sure.
wow, I could pick a lot of stories.
One that we ain't heard. Don't say the same damn story over again with these college trips in the car singing karaoke. Some new.
Say this often on my podcast, but he was really funny. And one of the things that I guess is so sad in sort of the wake of his assassination is it was so corporatized and so political that it didn't actually, you didn't learn anything about Charlie when you heard all of these political figures speaking and obviously pushing their church propaganda and also Republican propaganda. And the real Charlie was just objectively hilarious. He was objectively hilarious. But there's one story that I actually thought about recently, which was obviously we traveled, 4 times a week. We were traveling together. You really just get to know somebody in that circumstance. Early morning, you realize you forgot to pack something or your suitcase didn't come through, and we're waiting outside at like 4 a.m. for Walmart to open at 5 a.m. in the middle of nowhere.
What Walmart opened up at 5 o'clock in the morning? I know mine don't open up to 6. So what Walmart open up at 5?
But I will never forget New Mexico.
Ooh.
Charlie and I used to always eat Chipotle. That was our go-to. We ate Chipotle.
I know. Listen. Please. I just pray that heaven has a Chipotle. That's just all I ask for. I just pray that you have Chipotle. Simple, real simple, nothing too fancy. Beans, rice, a little lettuce, tortilla. I mean, just something simple, please. 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 Just do me a solid.
Everywhere we were just thinking, gosh, Chipotle has to sponsor us, It was just an easy meal that felt light enough and you don't feel like crap when you're traveling.
Yes.
But we went to New Mexico, and this was during the time that we were wearing like the Build the Wall shirts and like, very pro-Trump, very pro-MAGA, wearing our MAGA hats, Build the Wall. And we went to this random Chipotle in New Mexico, and I can't explain it to you, but it was the greatest tacos we ever had in our lives. And I just remember Charlie saying,
the only guarantee that tomorrow's going to get better than today is that you're personally growing right now. Who told you the lie that you believe?
the tomatoes are glistening. Like the tomatoes are glistening. And he was like, do you think we got this wall thing wrong? Like, should we go backwards and stop saying build a wall? Because like maybe this is because we're so close to the border. And I was like, I don't think we have it right, Charlie. I think we need to hear the other side. And just thinking of that Chipotle and how we constantly talked about the glistening tomatoes afterwards is just one of my favorite Charlie moments. Like he was just very, very funny, very aware of himself, really could make fun of himself, which we're both like that. We just don't take ourselves too seriously. And yeah, I think just his sense of humor.
Sign of a wise person,
Yeah.
you know, and he was. And I didn't know him personally, but I'll tell you something that happened to me when he died. I've never said this before, ever. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I never met Charlie Kirk. And he came to me in my dream, which was weird. And I was worried because I was like, I don't think I'm doing enough for this investigation. Because, you know, I don't only work on Charlie Kirk. I work on multiple other things. So it's like I've got a small team. And I'm like, I don't think I'm doing enough. There's so much smoke in here. And I have to, like, maybe try harder. So I go to sleep and he comes to me. And I don't know, you tell me if that's like Charlie. He hugs me for some reason, smiles, and he's like, you're doing just fine. I never knew him personally, but he was smiling and he hugged me and he's like, you're doing just fine. So I remember like just asking him like, who killed you? So I did. I was like, who killed you? Like that would be easier to tell me like who killed you.
Right.
And you know what he said? He said the same people that killed JFK.
Wow. Now I have a similar story. I have a similar story that I don't think I've ever shared it publicly. But I had someone visit me in my dreams. What is her name? I was thinking too fast. And I keep trying to get her mixed up with Shanquella Robinson, which she did not visit me in my dream. It was who was Jenkins? It's not, I have to look up her name. I think it was something Jenkins. Kanika. God. I love when Google be right there. Kanika. I saw Kanika in my dream one time. And that's the first thing I asked her. That was the first thing I asked her. And it was so weird because when she was about to get ready to answer me, someone walked up and like I immediately woke up. You know, like, you know, faces, you don't have faces in dreams and stuff like that, but you know who it is spiritually, especially if you all have had like a spiritual connection, so to speak. And somebody had walked up and interrupted me and I got so mad. Because we was just sitting and like we was just talking. You know how you have like phases in dreams. And so there was like this phase where like cut out and then it like cut into like another dream. And I was just sitting on a step. And we was just talking. And I was like, girl. Just kind of like how she was like, oh my God, who killed you? And then somebody like popped up and like interrupted us, and I like immediately woke up. I was so mad. So angry.
You had this in your dream?
In a dream. I woke up at 4 a.m. and texted my friend, she's also my producer, texted my friend, and I was like, I just had Charlie Kirk tell me this in my dream.
Wow.
And yeah, well, obviously it's not the same people because they are all dead, but you know what he meant.
Right.
And I usually don't believe in dreams, but it was so unusual for me to dream about somebody I never met. And maybe someone can say like it's because of your imagination. You were worried that you were not doing enough, and it could be that you're imagining. But
for me, I have so much of this world is built around wanting people not to have the confidence to go with their gut, and I realize that it's all about don't trust your intuition, don't believe your dreams, don't think you can follow your dreams. This is actually one of the reasons why I was such a big Kanye fan, because I felt like in his music he sort of like gave us the code. That's why he was so hated. He refused to be put into a box. And so I have had dreams that have become
being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
true. Like I showed a demonstrated that on my show, where literally the day that my former executive producer got pregnant, I had the clearest dream, and they were like trying to get pregnant for a while. Like the clearest dream, it was a boy. I knew exactly when he was going to be born. I told her that the next day, and she was like, "Well, no." And then she found out about a week later that she was pregnant, and she wrote me and was like, "This really freaks me out." And my sisters have had that every single time one of me and my sisters is pregnant. One of us has a very clear dream of the sex of the baby, when the baby's going to be born. And so this whole idea that your dreams don't mean anything, sometimes they don't. Like sometimes I watch a scary movie and then I have a scary dream. And so it can be impacted by that. But there is a difference. And when you know that a dream didn't feel like a dream, right? You wake up and you go, I wasn't thinking about this topic, or I never thought of this person in this way. Andrew Colbert being one of them, never thought about Andrew Colbert in that way ever. So I didn't go to bed going, I wonder if Andrew Colbert. No, I fully trusted Andrew Colbert at the beginning of this. I knew Andrew Colbert. I had no reason not to trust Turning Point at that moment. And that dream shook me. And yeah, so I hope that people listening to this just know that they build this entire system not to get you, because they want you not to trust your intuition. Your intuition, there's so much more that we will never know. Things are metaphysical, and that's why around people, hell is real. They know it's real. And I think that there was something about the Charlie Kirk assassination that made people realize that demons are real.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people who were atheists who aren't feeling so atheistic today.
Yeah. And that's why I was like so confused, because Charlie was not my friend. It would make sense if he came to you talking, so he's just one of the cases. I've been on multiple other cases when people die, and I feel like, okay, something's off here, and I worked with detectives, and I was so shocked. But then, and only then, I started kind of putting parallels between JFK and his assassination. And I think that they're very similar in many ways.
Of course they are.
Do you agree?
Absolutely, they are. And I do believe that the same players are involved. Not something that I believed in the beginning, but following this investigation, obviously right away, I think what made people look up and wonder what's going on here was just Bibi Netanyahu's little press tour. This is not normal. You can't normalize these things and pretend that it's okay. There have been other elements, of course, even
messaging,
the messaging right away.
Public, like you go against us, there you go, this is what you get.
The lie.
Yeah.
The unnecessary lie and the anger that they have toward people who are trying to figure out what happened. A Turning Point being upset with Joe Kent. That was beyond weird, for trying to investigate foreign involvement. Erica making a joke about foreign involvement. Why is she not concerned about Egyptian planes? Even if it turned out that it was nothing, and really they just came into town to change, some parts, and for whatever reason, the Egyptian Air Force just can't find any place. She's not concerned.
Well, she's mocking it. That's why I was like, she came out, what show was it? On Fox News, of course. Like Fox News became a mouthpiece of TPUSA, at least that's how I see it. If you check out their social media, probably like 8 out of 10 would be TPUSA stuff. I mean, since when are we doing this, people? Even when Charlie was there, we were not doing that. Fox News was not an active mouthpiece of TPUSA. Now it is. So she comes out and she mocks specifically Egyptian planes.
Like it was like she was told to do it.
Right.
If my husband, God forbid anything ever happened to him, and the story didn't make any sense, and then I find out that my husband, who had real enemies and who was turning his back on Israel the day before. We thought that message was September 8th. We then learned it was September 9th, where he said, I'm abandoning the Israeli cause. And then I see that there's an Egyptian Air Force. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to be getting in touch with Joe Kent myself and Tulsi Gabbard and saying, we need to investigate this. She doesn't care. She does not care.
That's the message
and
I get.
to be so aloof about that is why people are rightly examining her, right? You have every right to look at this woman and say, you aren't acting right. You are offering a bonus and a raise to Dan Flood. Where is your rage?
That he literally failed in protecting your husband. So why are you doing that?
And even if it was misplaced anger,
right.
even if Erica was angry at everyone, we would expect that. And that's why I compared it to Vanessa Bryant. Her husband died in a real tragic accident.
Right.
She wanted everybody's head. She wanted to, and she did sue the helicopter.
She did too. She sued the helicopter because that was very disrespectful for them to be taking pictures and all that videos and stuff. I'm like, oh my God.
Company. She sued TMZ for publishing the photos. She didn't let anyone into her. Her speech, which I encourage people to go watch when they did a memorial for Kobe Bryant. There were no fireworks. They did it at Lakers. It was so personal. She told stories that nobody knew about him. And her general demeanor, wearing all black, there is a difference here that people are noticing. And you're not going to be able to gaslight us into thinking that all of that is normal.
Absolutely. So what really shocked me is that she never once showed up in court. Never once, Candace. Like, you do not want to look at a person who supposedly killed your husband. Just look at him. I mean, just look at the guy. I'm not saying be angry at him. We get it. You forgave him. We heard all. So, but you don't want to look at him in court?
There's just a general aloofness, lack of involvement. And of course, the notorious Zoom calls. 6 days after your husband's assassination, you're giggling about emojis. How are you out of bed? How is it possible that he was like a brother to me? And he wasn't my husband. He wasn't the father of my children. And yet I couldn't get out of bed. I was destroyed. I couldn't. We're supposed to believe this is just the strength of a godly woman. That's what you guys are going to try to sell to us.
Yeah, and the godly woman who's so strong, Candace, is somehow bothered by you and others.
Right.
I thought she was very strong.
The Drewski skit. That's what really upset her. Tyler Robinson murdering her husband. We can get by. We can forgive him. But Drewski mocking her.
That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that is. I do not forgive you, Drewski.
So I will dive into Erica Kirk and I'll ask you a few things. But first, I want to know, who is Candace Owens? Because Candace, this, they are like wolves. They are waiting for you to sleep up so they can come out and, people, we told you this is who she was. She's a narcissist. She's this and that. I've heard this all. But you tell me and tell them now, who's Candace Owens, truly?
Honestly, I think the best way to think of me is as my granddad's grandbaby. I am a lot like my grandfather was, and you can blame my granddad. He's not here anymore, sadly, but I was definitely shaped by my grandparents early in life, and my grandfather was just forthright. It was all about God and family, and we had to study the Bible growing up. We used to live in like a roach-infested apartment, super, just didn't have a lot of money. Me and my sister shared a bedroom, tiny little bedroom, and had to take out the pots and the pans when I was young, and because they had to come spray for roaches. But of course, when you're young, you don't really process your lack of wealth or anything like that. Your kids can be happy anywhere. It's one of the great things. But a grandfather, and we couldn't afford groceries, so they would come pay and bring groceries. We spent a lot of time with them. And my grandfather, I think when I was 8 or when I was 7, turning 8, came to our apartment and just said, I don't want my grandbabies growing up like that. And so he moved us into their house, like a more middle-class house, still a small house. My parents were in the basement. Me and my sister were in the attic, totally overfilled house. But it was better.
I spent 63 years knowing what I was capable of, but never acting on it.
It's
now I'm 73, proud I finally made that move.
Humble.
Better than roaches. It was great. It was fantastic. We felt like we made it. We loved our grandparents. And he just believed he was conservative naturally. And I don't say conservative in a Republican way. I say conservative in the way that he just adored me and my sisters. I have 2 sisters. My brother had to be out mowing the lawn. He wanted us to be in dresses, and he would hold the door for us. And he would sort of wrap us into, if we did something wrong, he would lecture us in a prayer, would start a prayer and then lecture us. And he just, my grandmother and my grandfather are just they were the most fantastic people. And they definitely shaped me. But granddad was stubborn. He was stubborn. If you came for his family, if he felt like, something wasn't right, you would hear from him. And so
that's how it's supposed to be.
So much like my grandfather, we even call it an Owens temper because it flares and then you're over it. So if my granddad and me, I remember before he started, he eventually got dementia, but he this notorious like kind of last fight we had where he was yelling at me about I don't know what it was. And he starts stomping on the carpet. He's like, "This is my house," blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "You're blah, blah, blah." And literally 10 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, baby, do you want to take me to get something?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, granddad." Like flare up, flare down. Aww. And yeah, so they can blame my grandfather for that. I always say it was the way my grandparents loved and adored me. I think that really shaped me. And I was always different. My mother and my father would say that. I see it in my children now. And you can see which ones are just kind of, there's a beat to their own drum that they're going to. And that's probably how it's going to be.
It's amazing. Well, I'm glad you turned out the way you did.
Let's take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Thank God.
At LaneCryptoIRA.com. Everything they told you about your retirement is a lie. The 401k was never built for you. It was built to keep your money inside a system they control. Denominated in a currency they devalued, taxed on a schedule they set. And while you've been doing everything right, they've been quietly making sure your savings buy less every single year. Go to LaneCryptoIRA.com. Right now, there's an exclusive offer waiting for you at the end of this. But more importantly, there's a door out. Let me tell you what's actually happening. The money in your retirement account is paper. They print more of it whenever they want. Every time they do, your savings get smaller. And they don't ask permission, they don't warn you, they don't stop. The financial industry built around your retirement is paid to keep you exactly where you are. Mutual funds, index funds, the same playbook for 40 years.
Did y'all see this? I'm just going to chill. I'm going to chill because I woke up this morning. I texted myself this article at, let me see what time it was, 6:06 a.m. Is my airdrop on right now? Did y'all hear what the fuck this nigga said? Did you hear what he said? I don't know why I even brought up Donald Trump. I don't know why I brought him up. He made me so fucking angry. Trump defends. Take the men out. I know I was going to be reading. Perfect quote. Perfect statement. Trump defends saying he isn't thinking about Americans' finances amid Iran talks. Remember how I led into this because Candace voted for Donald Trump. Y'all the one got him into office. And then the reporters ask him, "Oh, well, how do you feel about..." Just let me... President Donald Trump is defending remarks from earlier this week when he said he wasn't factoring in Americans' financial situation amid efforts to negotiate an end to the Iran war. That's a perfect statement. I make it again. So we can conclude that MAGA is bullshit. Let's just go ahead and stick a pin in it. Just go ahead and stick a pin in it. MAGA is bullshit. Ain't no way you're going to sit here and tell me that you campaigned on the ideal and you brainwashed all of your supporters on the ideology that make America great again, America first, and then no war, and then we go to war, and then report, hey, so how do you feel about, Americans and their financial issues? And I ain't got time for that right now. That ain't none of my business. I can only focus on one thing at a time.
They get rich on your fees while your purchasing power of what you've
I'm
saved
trying to
quietly
get mad
disappears.
now. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm scrolling, reading, and who is that? NBC? I didn't even, I didn't even look it up. I just looked it up now. I didn't look it up when I was reading it because I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Trump told reporters Tuesday that he wasn't thinking about Americans' finances, quote, even a little bit, as he negotiates with Iran to end the months-long conflict, adding that his, quote, sole focus is to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. They just won't let it go. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon, Trump said. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And then, of course, his comments sparked widespread criticism from Democrats, while many Republicans sought to defend him. That clip, when I was reading this article, I didn't read all of it. I just read a little bit because I got pissed off. I think I got to that part and I was like, oh, the first thing that came to mind, I was like, go and find that clip of Caroline Levitt when that black lady had asked her something. I can't even remember what she had asked her or what she had said. And remember Caroline Levitt was like, that is so stupid. I was like, clip them two together because I'm like, that is so stupid. I can't believe he said that. I really can't believe he said it.
This is not market cycle. This is the design.
Like,
but there's a door and most people don't even know it exists.
Don't come in me with that shit. I could just envision it in my head. I bet he was like, don't come at me with all that extra stuff. I don't have the mental capacity to be worried about everybody else's problems. I'm just trying to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons.
2014, you've been able to
All right, bet. So you're not worried about gas prices over $5? You're not worried about grocery prices through the roof? Okay.
move parts of your retirement into Bitcoin, digital assets, inside a tax advantage account, completely outside the paper game. The platform I trust is Block Trust IRA, not a trading app, not a brokerage that's going to sell your data and charge you hidden fees.
That article definitely bothered me.
A managed portfolio institutional custody through SFOX, AI-driven risk management built for the people who saw through it and decided they were done losing on purpose. Cold storage transfer and fees is zero conflict in how they get paid. The opposite of everything that Wall Street sells. Here's what's exclusive. Fund a qualifying account through my link and you can claim up to $2,500 in free crypto. Only for listeners coming through lanecryptoira.com. That's LANE cryptoira.com. Free 30-minute consultation, real answers, lanecryptoira.com. They've had your money long enough. The media today. That, people who are on the right side now are a sizable number, and that was not the case before. And I'm very thankful to your grandpa and grandparents.
I hope people are learning the code. Because there is a code here where you see it. It's all about trying to humiliate you, to blackmail you into submission, to threaten you with finances, and to get you to agree to serve Lucifer in the process. And so many people just say yes to it. It's scary. The people that I came up with in politics, who Charlie came up with, who have turned their back on him, it sickens me. It genuinely sickens me. I can't explain to you. It makes me want to stop on the carpet.
Trust me, I know. And so something interesting was said by Larry Loomer.
Larry Loomer.
She tried to say, well, I don't understand why so many people are so scared of this and how it went. I'm not going to repeat that anymore. But she said it right. They are scared. Candice, they are scared. And this is why they are all over the place. They are like watching your show like hawks. Maybe she makes a mistake. We are going to sue her. Like, no one is as watched as you by the enemies, and because she said it right. It was not maybe it was a Freudian slip, but they are terrified. Now the question is, what kind of person is terrified? Are you scared?
No.
Neither am I. You know why? Because I've got nothing to hide. And neither have you. You don't have anything to hide. So the question is, what kind of person should be that scared, and why Larry thinks that people are scared, right?
I think what they're fearful of, it's not me. They're fearful of their own exposure. That's what it is. And they're fearful of coming across someone who they know doesn't bend the knee to money. They tried it. If I bent the knee to money, I'd be at the Daily Wire, right?
Exactly.
And so that scares them because that's one of their mechanisms. The second thing is like, okay, well, can we blackmail this person? Can we dig through their life? Can we find something? Actually, Laura did land upon a high school squabble that I got into. I don't care. I literally don't care. Do you want to talk about it on my podcast? I have zero shame about that. This is how it works. You go and you find something that happened when I was 17 years old, and you think that that's going to make me, bend the knee to having watched Charlie Kirk be assassinated on TV? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's come on my podcast and talk about it. This is how the game works, and I'm not playing this. I am not bending the knee to Satan, okay? Because
Calm down, relax. She getting fired up already. Chick, relax.
fearful that you're going to dig up something about my family, about my grandparents, and I want people to learn this, right? I want people to learn this.
Right.
You better
The tactics, because they will not publish your YouTube short.
be willing to come in front of the world and spill all your dirt.
I'm mad about my YouTube short. I'm gonna put it out there. I obviously had 2 days to kind of let it go. I could have been sending emails. You know what I did instead? I went outside. I ordered me about 6 bags of topsoil. Ordered me some fertilizer. I got some grass seeds coming Thursday. I ordered me some dominoes, and I just let it go. I just let it go. I don't know what happened to the YouTube short. I recorded it. I uploaded it. I don't know. It's still saying that it's uploading. It's still saying it got 2 hours and 25 minutes left to upload, with 0 minutes of video footage. So I don't know. I really don't. If I would have known that, I would have just downloaded it and saved it, and then maybe like re-uploaded it. I don't know. Am I gonna let it go? One day.
And to buy yourself a ticket to hell, because that is where these people are going who did this to Charlie Kirk.
Who said that Joe? First of all, they flagged me with that Netflix. First of all, I had no idea that the Cat Williams roast, I had no idea that was Netflix. I had no idea that was Netflix. Whoever had clipped it, whoever's channel I was watching had clipped it, and they just they were doing like a lot of audio, but I had no idea that was Netflix. Trust me, I would have never watched it if I would have known that it was Netflix. But they obviously flagged me for that whole entire Netflix little part with the Cat Williams, but there was a joke. Who? Don't. Let me not laugh. Was it Tony Hinchcliffe? He was so savage. He said a joke about George Floyd, and I have to admit it was quite funny. Like, it was funny. He was. I didn't even hear him say it. I think it was it Shade Room? I was reading it, or was it Media Takeout? Somebody had transcribed it, and it was like, "Ooh, he facing backlash about," because everybody, like, I think it was Friday or Saturday, like, all the articles was like, "Ooh, so-and-so is responding. This person is responding." Everybody was responding to, like, the jokes that were said from different people. And I know Tony, he had got a lot of backlash for, like, all his jokes. And he had said a joke about George Floyd. I didn't get to hear that part because they was doing, like, little snippets from whoever I had watched. And so he said, I think it said something about what okay, he's looking up at us. George Floyd is looking up at us.
not shutting up.
Let me not
this.
repeat.
I'm not going to be distracted on this. The lawsuits is meant to.
It was funny though. I don't know why people. I'm like, wait.
Be about financial duress. She's now upped the game and is publishing my address everywhere. That's a psychological game. But I spent 2 years studying Sigmund Freud. Okay, I know how these tactics work. It's built to destroy you mentally. This is what Kanye, albeit he communicated it poorly, was trying to tell people about the Matrix. How everyone around him, he suddenly realized was fake. He woke up one day and realized his life was the Truman Show, and had a breakdown about it. And they just will call you crazy, you try to dig up things that are embarrassing, and that's why Kanye notoriously got up and started saying, I got liposuction. He did this thing in TMZ. I was with him. I got liposuction. Like, I'm insecure. Actually, his first song is about that. All Falls Down. I don't know if you know Kanye music. I could take you on a Kanye tour like I did with Charlie. But there's a song, All Falls Down, and he just talks about how self-conscious he is. And he
put it all out there for everyone to see before he was, they were able to blackmail him. That's what
I'd rather be free. Yes, exactly. I had a pornography addiction. That's what he said. Yes, I did this.
Right.
My cousin stole my laptop and blackmailed me. I had to pay him. What he is doing.
Do we know if I feel like every maybe 2-3 months, I always end up saying Hunter Biden. Has he done any? Just give me a second real quick. I feel like it's like every 2-3 months, I always end up like, hey, have we heard from Hunter yet? Have we heard from Hunter yet? Has he done like an interview yet? How you have to let the spirit lead you and guide you. And man at crimes. Look, see what I'm. Oh my God. It must have been a minute. I didn't know he went on Sean Ryan. What the? Oh my God. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Look at this. Who has that much footage? Look at this 5 hours and 27-minute interview with Hunter. Oh, I ain't tripping, man. See? 5 hours is crazy. 5 hours is cool. It take me like 3 days. It took me like 3 days. Even if I speed it up. 5 hours and 27-minute interview. Are you kidding me?
Is he saying, I choose free?
It was the laptop. She said, stole the laptop. Remember, I think he said, allegedly he said that he had pawned his laptop and then somebody, I can't remember the story about his laptop. So she said laptop, and I was like, oh, I ain't heard from Hunter about it. See, it's just little words that are like, oh, I didn't know. I said it was like every 2 to 3 months. That was 4 months ago when he did this interview with Sean Ryan. 5 hours is in 27 minutes.
You can't embarrass me. I'd rather you embarrass me. I'd rather you say those
Hurry up
things.
and get to the meat and potatoes, Elizabeth Lane.
I like none of us are perfect, but you're not going. I'm not going to bend the knee to this.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
come
the way
on.
to do it. So another
Right.
question I wanted to ask you before we move on to TPUSA is
Right.
Daily Wire situation.
Yeah.
So you left Daily Wire. You didn't leave Daily Wire. They fired you.
Fired.
Yes, and since then, even though they fired you, they just cannot chill. And it is like, honestly, I don't know how you do it because it already disturbs me, and I'm not even in this situation. I'm like,
What are you putting in the chat? What is this? Hold on, let me filter this chat. Cause Matthew. Just put it in English.
bystander?
Yeah.
And I'm like, get over it, guys. Like, are you serious? So what's up with this?
People will one day know every detail of what the Daily Wire put me and my family through. It is a cult masquerading as a business. It is. I come actually from the private equity world, so I worked at a real business prior to getting into politics. I worked for 4 years at a private equity firm in New York City, and I cannot explain to you. This is a cult. This is, you get fired, it's over. You can send it in an email. People don't build stages, gather around all of the other slaves, watch them hang you.
Let me tell this dude to stop all that screaming. Hey, stop all that screaming back there. I hear him all the way up here.
And prepare a video, as Jeremy Bourne did, to show everybody. 15 minutes ago, we sent Candace an email and we fired her, and he starts.
Let me. It got me.
Are you looking to
anxious
set-
now. Look, I'm anxious.
House as is without paying for costly repairs, inspections, or expensive.
Hold on, let me just get the. Let me get the.
Hunter Biden, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, man. Big fan.
I can't believe you're a fan.
Why?
I don't know. It's wild to me that you're a fan. Yeah, man. I'm finding, so I mean, I pretty much interviewed almost everybody that's on the Trump admin now.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I think people people got maybe the wrong impression of me that I agree with everything that side of the aisle says, and I don't. But you know, we did.
Shit, I'm gonna get you in trouble. I got the exact opposite impression.
Right on. But yeah, I don't know. There's just some. You know who else? Elizabeth Warren's team listens to my show a lot. That really, really surprised me.
Okay. So here's why.
Look.
Is that you're a great listener.
Oh.
And I think that the authentic way in which you listen and respond leads me to believe that that you're just open. Like you're open to information. And you're not judging it as it's coming over the transom, unless it's just fucking outrageous, you know, or somebody's being hateful or lying or insincere. And you know, I was saying to those guys out there, I watch you do the. I've watched everything, not everything, but I've watched. I really do. I listen to you while I paint, and the thing that.
Let me speed his hands up, because I can give him 1.25.
Always comes across to me with you is that fundamentally you have like a core set of beliefs, of values, and they're the same values I have. I mean, and maybe that's a shock or a surprise, but you know, I was saying to you guys out there, like we all think that, you know, if you're a Republican or Democrat, you know, that we got nothing in common. But I will tell you what I was raised with. What I try to.
Don't he look just like Biden?
I mean, obviously, I try and I failed in many respects, and
Does he look just like Joe?
failed in my addiction, and sometimes fail in my sobriety, in being the man that I aspire to be. But I care about my family, I care about my friends, I care about my community, I care about my country, and I care about my faith. And I'm, you know, maybe being presumptuous, I think that's what you care about. And I don't mean that as like some saccharine bullshit, but our prescription of how to make all those things better may be different. You know? And those are the things that we used to argue about.
Yeah.
I've grown up, you know, the majority of my friends were all Republicans, you know? I aspired, you know, I mean, my heroes were you guys, you know? The people that served, like my brother, like you, like, you know, and so, anyway, my point is, I don't think, I don't know why you'd be shocked, other than by the impression that's been left about me. I don't know.
I think I'm shocked because I'm new with this shit, man. You grew up in this, in politics, you know, and
I didn't grow up in this though. Sean.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is it's just, man, it's so fucking politicized now. And so you think that the Republican Democrat, which I don't even fucking know what it means to be a Republican anymore, to be honest with you. I think that everything's just so far off base now that I don't even know. I have conservative values, and that's all I can say anymore, you know. But it's just become so divisive that it appears that the decision has already been made for you, to most people, on who you can associate with, who you can watch, who you can take information from, and who you can't. And while I don't and will never again fall into those fucking lines. I think a lot of people, can't see past it. And some things have happened to me too, you know, since I've been in this game of fucking podcasting and started diving into politics. And, you know, what I've realized is that, whatever the mainstream media determines the narrative is going to be about you, that's what it's going to be. Whether it has anything. Exactly, right? But I mean, I am not a MAGA cultist. I don't agree with everything that that comes out of that, political movement. In fact, as time moves on, I've agreed with less and less of it. But if you look at the mainstream media, the first thing they put in front of my fucking name every single fucking time is MAGA influencer, MAGA podcaster, MAGA podcaster Sean Ryan. It's like, where do you come up with this shit? But so anyways,
well, maybe I missed some interviews.
That's why
it's start getting nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you've missed much.
No, I haven't. I watched
my heart on my sleeve.
I have serious disagreements with people that have been really, really, I think, objectively cruel to me. Like Tucker's been objectively cruel to me, and I know that you're friends with Tucker. I used to know Tucker. I wasn't friends with Tucker. But I think
that is somebody who has not had Hunter on. Tucker.
That we're all, we should all have a common enemy. And the truth of the matter is, it's not any politician or a federal government worker. Who's benefiting right now? Who? Whether the Democrats are in control of Congress or whether the Republicans are, who ultimately seems to be benefiting?
Well, I can tell you who's not benefiting.
Not normal people.
Yeah.
Not regular guys, not the guys you served with, not the guys that I went to high school with, not the, nobody that I know. The people that are benefiting are the people that seem to always, some way, avoid the consequences and win. And that's, the 0.1%. And it's not even the 1% anymore. I mean, it's like literally and I'm not saying, all billionaires are evil. I'm not saying that. I promise you. But I am saying that from my vantage point, we are all the victims of the algorithms that they have caged us in.
Are we caged in the algorithm? I'm just asking. I don't know. Let me, because I can't change it.
Every one of us. And we are, why are we all so mad at each other? I don't understand. It's bad. Politics never used to be like this. It didn't be like, I'll tell you why. Where's the phone? Like, pick up your phone, man. And then people are incentivized. People that we used to trust are incredibly incentivized in a very perverse way to make me hate you.
Playing clips of Nick Fuentes in this glorious town hall. That's not how you fire people to get started. Then to drag people through the court systems, and I am now vehemently against what is the arbitration, because now I understand what this is. It allows people who possess characteristics of sociopathic killers to just stalk you. They can just keep bringing you back into court over and over and over and over and over again over every little infraction that is meant to psychologically and financially wear you down. This is what the Daily Wire did to me. And when I say every little infraction, I mean it can be in their head. It doesn't have to be real. They per your contract can drag you into court. So that was the next 2 years of my life, was fighting them in arbitration court for things that I didn't do. I did not do these things. I will say the one thing I did do that I was guilty of, and actually, if we had made it to the hearing, I was going to admit, I did an episode defending Brett Cooper, and I stand by that. I don't need to lie to you. I owe you $300K because you harassed her, and I have a backbone. I will gladly ding me I will pay you $300K for standing up for a 22-year-old girl. And you know what? When this filing's over, I'm going to frame it and tell my kids that money's not everything.
So good. That's why people love you so much. You are just not only not afraid, but people can be stupidly not afraid and go for the wrong thing. No, you're like, no, there's much more things to this life than your own as money. And we're, I love it. I love it.
And I made a conscious decision because I was watching them begin to do to her, who she does not
so
have,
beautiful.
she's not involved in the Israel-Palestine debate. Like, it's just not what she does. She does cute pop culture stuff, but it's a cult. You're not allowed to leave. And so they will smear you and they want to destroy you on the way out. And so what I lived through with them, I'm actually happy now that we're at the end where people can see it publicly, because they're just now getting a glimpse when they brought back my channels, how weird that was. I'm like, you guys have not seen anything. Okay, you think that's weird? Them bringing back my social channels, doing, I think, Jeremy's show, we actually counted. He's done 19 episodes, 17 have been about me and Tucker. Okay, this is not a show. This is more stalking. And the same
Don't sing it.
lawyers that sued me for those 2 years is now Brian Harpo's lawyer. I know how this works. I get it. I understand what is happening.
Yeah.
And if
The
I have to be
machine,
the
it's a machine.
person to demonstrate to people how this whole thing works, if my life has to go through it, I'm built for it. That's
Right.
fine. Let the whole system crash and burn so that you can see it's all illusory. And that they can target and bankrupt and destroy people because they want to and they're a part of the machine. To me, this is like the Sentinels versus the human beings.
Yeah,
Let
and
her
you're also
talk,
right. They're
man.
obsessed to the point where I actually bet money with my friend that I was going to put out a post about Tucker, and I was like, just give it like a few hours, Lara Loomer will show up and do something. I won. I was like, this is how predictable you are. This is how predictable you are. I want money by betting on this. Like, are you crazy?
They hate Tucker with the same viciousness, and that
Yes.
started when I was at the Daily Wire. So I was
Yes.
aware. It was very strange. I've always liked Tucker. Tucker has always been good to me, and I mean, for years before I worked at the Daily Wire, I was doing Tucker Carlson's show weekly, like every Tuesday. I kind of had to be on there. And Tucker, I forgot, Fox News will do this thing where they put people on ice. You can get like temporarily banned for something. And there was something I said that they put me temporarily, like banned me from Fox News. Tucker Carlson, don't care. He's the number one show. I'll have her every time. He like stood by me. And so little things like that, you get to see someone's character. I didn't know him personally. I actually met Tucker Carlson. I have the video. Charlie introduced me to him, and I was sent it to Tucker actually the other week because I was going through my videos with Charlie, and I was like, only person I want to meet in politics is Tucker Carlson. And so he filmed it, and he's like, hey, Tucker, why don't you meet Candace? So that's who he is behind the scenes, where if he thinks that something is wrong, or that they've done you wrong, he's willing to stand up to the big guy, right? He's standing up to Fox News and saying, I'm going to still have Candace on my show every Tuesday. I don't care if you don't like what she said about COVID or whatever it was, prevailing narrative of the day. But they have similarly been obsessed with Tucker, and I don't know why. Tucker has done nothing to
because
them.
both of you are good. I mean, look at this, Candace. You have everything that a person should strive forward, right? Like, and look for. Like, you're a wife, you're a mother, you're young, you have business, you're happy, and you have your faith. Now, the same goes.
I don't know what this is behind her, but I would like a real good, clean shot of this piece of artwork. This artwork is becoming very common. Okay, so I think you put the paint, I don't know if it's aluminum foil or if it's paper, but it's some way that they make the paint that, like, just let me see how this piece of artwork look. And I want to see how big it is, for one. I can't.
Tucker is a guy who never cheated on his wife, who's not going to, and I think that kills Lara Loomer. But
Well, you, Sean, you're a vet, special ops. You have a inside view of that. You have conservative values, and so therefore, at one point or another, you supported, some of the things that Donald Trump was saying, and and the people that surrounded him. And so therefore, you know what you are? You're my fucking enemy. You're my enemy. I shouldn't be sitting here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The one thing I've come to the conclusion of, because my own experience, it's such a bunch of bullshit. Such a bunch of bullshit. I wish people would just wake up.
I know, man.
Wake up, man.
Did I not just say that 5 minutes before we got here? I just said that now.
Remember your neighbor.
Oh.
Remember your neighbor, who, by the way, may have voted for Donald Trump, but didn't vote for this. Didn't vote for this.
Did I not just say that? We was just talking about this before we got here. I know y'all didn't vote for that, but y'all voted for him. So you gonna have to. I'm finna go get a snack. I said that I was gonna try to stop eating while I'm live streaming. It's not because I intentionally try to snack. It's because I will forget that I'm smacking.
Now I could have told him. It's maybe, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I am, I saw one of your shows where you talked about, like, some days it feels like we're really on the verge of real violence. Not this, what do they call it, stochastic violence? Not these kind of, the seemingly endless violence that we witness as it relates to what just happened to Rob Reiner, to his son, or what happened to Charlie Kirk, or what happened to the students at Brown University, or what happened to the people celebrating Hanukkah on Bondi Beach. You know, and by the way, that was all except for Charlie Kirk, within the past day. But beyond that violence, I saw you talking to somebody about it. Like, are we gonna be picking up guns?
Well, what I think what you're referring to is, you see all this talk about revolution, Civil War, all this type of shit. And I mean, if you think about, how would you destroy the United States of America? I mean, I don't think that you destroy it by kinetic war. I don't think you nuke it. I don't think you send in troops. I don't think you do a naval battle. You divide them because, I mean, there are more guns in this country. I'm a gun owner and I'm a fucking pro 2A guy. Don't ever try to take my damn guns. But, I mean, there are so many here that if there was an adversary that was successful in dividing us, so much so that it actually ended up in kinetic war, nobody could come in. You can't even send a country to come in here to aid because there are so many fucking guns. And I spent 14 years in Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, all over the Middle East. They don't have half the damn guns that we have in this country. And that place is, I mean, there are places there that you're fucking dead if you go outside. And maybe you're dead if you don't go outside. And this here would be way worse, way worse than that. When the desperation sets in, people start getting hungry, cold, they need warm clothes, they need food, they need water, they need medication. Like when the system fucking breaks down, this will be the most dangerous place in the entire world.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And so, that's why I asked the question, who's benefiting? And one thing I know that who's benefiting from what's happening in our country right now is the immediate answer to that is our adversaries, our most obvious adversaries. Russians, Chinese, and a cadre of other actors that I think sometimes pretend that they're our allies, but would just as well see us burn. And then, who else is benefiting? The only people that are doing better and have consistently amassed wealth to a degree that has never been seen before in human history are the oligarch class, the Elon Musks and the Peter Thiels and and a whole host of other people. And I'm not just picking them out, and Jeff Bezos and so there's a very, very, very finite, infinitesimal in terms of numbers of people that are.
Who is Peter Thiel? I've heard that name before. Is it Thiel? I don't know how to. Thie. Okay. Thiel Capital Management. Not co-founded PayPal. Investment in the Ocean Data Center. Ocean, powered by waves, and the startup is what? Ocean. Okay, so Elon wants to have a data center in space, and Peter Thiel wants to have one in the water. PayPal sold to eBay? All this. Crypto-based bank for the AI era to launch in Dallas. Who is he? Okay. Libra. Frankfurt. German American. Okay. Okay. Help found PayPal. Venture capital firm founders. Okay. Interesting.
You know, it's just how it is. And he's got everything a normal American should dream for and strive for and all of that. And I think they're jealous. And they're jealous that you guys are loved by people and they are not.
Yeah.
They're not.
And I think that is, it's also Tucker, and why I've always been a fan of his, is when he sort of told his whole story on Theo Von about his alcoholism and like his wake up moment of realizing they hate that. They hate that. They want you to try to pretend that you are perfect and you've never made a mistake. No, you've made mistakes. Like you have I'm like, guys, we can go back and we can find the files. You want the Candace files, I'll give them to you. That's what I'm doing on my podcast every day. I'm not perfect. And by the way, I'm going to make more mistakes. There is going to be, I right now have 4 children in this world. They're going to then be teenagers. They're going to make mistakes and I'm going to do my best to protect them and guide
4
them.
children?
4
What? With a
kids.
gay man?
Yeah, with a gay homosexual gangster, mind
Yes.
you. It's
Oh
a
my
lot happening.
gosh,
He's both a
yes. He
rap
was a-
gangster, gun
he was
brandishing.
arrested.
Yeah, but he also is gay, Oxford. It's a lot going
He
on.
just has 4 kids though,
But it's
he's
always
gay.
the immediate attack. They go for the family because they know that that's where the strength is. Like that's where the rock is. And when your family is good, and we, husband and I we love being. We love being parents. We didn't know that we would love it this much. You know, you never know. And children are just such a joy. They're so funny. I mean, I could tell you every day the things that come out of their mouths as they're grappling with things. And a lot of these people don't know that joy because they're searching for something that is so empty. Like trying to get into.
She's saying. She just cut her off. Not she, but it.
Wait, how old is she? I don't know. But she literally uses Excel.
Logo. Wow, guys. It's really kind of gaudy. The food's not that good. I remember the first time I was like, yeah, this is it. And then I got there and I was like, it's like, all right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, and that's why they're so miserable. And most of their work, instead of actually working on something meaningful, is trashing others. And people started saying it. That's why Daily Wire is losing people because they don't want to watch this every single day. They are sick of it. So real quick before we move on, when you first met Ben Shapiro, what was your reaction? Like, what was your analysis of the person?
I first met him with Charlie. It was another one of my favorite Charlie moments.
okay.
I shared it, but it was, any person when they first got into the industry around that time, you actually looked up to Ben because this was when he was going viral with the clips, and Charlie and I were just started. So we had all these messages that I could show you. We were like, oh, it's so cool. Like Ben, I was like, I think Ben followed me on something. I don't remember what it was. And then like every person in politics, you get to know Ben, and that things change very quickly. And so it was the Kanye tweet. Anything up before April 2018, we were like, great, it'd be great to work with Ben. And then after the Kanye tweet, he's a very jealous and envious person. And rather than going, how can we work together? How do we make things bigger? You end up finding out that he's working behind the scenes and telling people not to work with you. And this is going to be a mistake. And she shouldn't be speaking to Kanye. And you don't know what Kanye means to people like me. You don't pretend to understand the culture at all. You don't understand, like, I wouldn't be in this circumstance if it wasn't for Kanye's music giving me the courage to know there are so many kids growing up in crappy communities that are hearing someone say, you can break through, you can break through, you can be your own Superman and get out of this thing. And he's just like he is nag and
controlling, very controlling.
And he messaged Charlie and told him not to deal with me. I had showed messages on my show, and Charlie was like, he thinks like you're his slave. LOL, when I see Charlie again in heaven, I'm telling him to be like, bro. We had no idea how right you were when you sent that message. Wow. I'm like a slave who escaped this plantation is how I feel right now. And they just got there on horseback trying to find me. You know what I mean? It's been like years. And I'm like, man, I think you just gotta let the slave go. I think she's fully up north, so it was after that Ben did a flip. And so, but then he sort of noticed that he couldn't kind of stop the rise. And so Charlie and I did Ben's show. We were in LA in Sherman Oaks, which is where Daily Wire used to be based. And I remember Charlie was just like, okay, when we get there, when we take a photo with him, I'm going to stand up real tall and puff out my chest. So he looks super extra small. And I was like, do it. I said, do it. And the photo is hilarious. That was who Charlie was. Like, he was never like, we're going to be super mean or try to ruin this guy's life. We're going to get this photo so we always remember that we triumphed him in this room. And then we went on the show he's just a jokester. He's totally a jokester like that.
Ben is the same way with everything. I mean, look at what he does with The Nation. He tells them what needs to be done. It's like, who put you in charge exactly? Who are you, dude? Like, he's telling American people, well, you are wrong to want good for America because Israel comes first. He never said exactly these words, but that's where he's going. Like, we support Israel. We should support Israel. Who are you to decide who American people should support? Like, who are you?
It's really operative. And I think that, and you can fact check this, but I was told when I was at the Daily Wire that his uncle is the one that sold all the uranium to Israel, stole all of our uranium, Zalman Shapiro. He ended up not being charged for it because I think he pled anti-Semitism in court or something, but he did sell all of our uranium. So this is who and what his family is, and this is what he was raised to believe that he's chosen. And so I think when you are raised with that philosophy of thinking that everything is yours, that you should be allowed to steal and rape and kill and take people's property because you're promised something. Chosen by whom? Satan.
Exactly. Yeah,
obviously. If you can do this to children and you genuinely believe that you have a separate, as the Talmud instructs, that you have a separate spirit. They're animals, you're not. By the way, I wouldn't treat an animal as they treat the Palestinians, just to be clear. And actually, when you watch their behavior, the deep irony is they can't think through, no, you have the spirit of animals. Look at you. Look at what you're doing. And not even an animal would do the things that you are doing right now in Palestine. They have some sort of reverence that is ingrained in them as creatures that were created by God. And so they can't work through, the people that support Israel can't work through the fact that you possess the spirit of animals, because look at what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, facts are facts. And Ben Shapiro might say, like, well, I'm not doing it. I'm sitting in a studio and whatever. But you're supporting the people who are doing when you have the power to stop them. And that's almost worse.
He hosted Bibi Netanyahu on a show and will, without blinking, an actual criminal, without blinking, will say that Tucker Carlson's a monster.
Yeah.
Who has Tucker Carlson ever hurt? He will say Nick Fuentes is the worst thing that ever happened. How many people has Nick Fuentes killed?
Nobody.
Okay, so I think Bibi Netanyahu is worse than Nick Fuentes. Does that like generally make sense to the population?
Absolutely.
That the bigger threat would be the person that's now bombing Lebanon and stealing. They constantly steal and then tell us that they're more successful because they're better at business. You're thieves. We're thieves and murderers trying to convince us that it's righteous murder and righteous theft.
Right. And doing it poorly.
So that's what you will inherit. If you and to be clear, there are a ton of Jews who do not support this, and it's the numbers are now astounding of people that email me, rabbis that email me, Jewish Americans that watch this show. I think early on they were like, "Oh no, this is about not wanting the Holocaust to happen." They now see what's happening, and they want nothing to do with that.
And Israel does not represent all Jews. I worked with a Jew, my boss was a Jew, and Candace, I can explain. Well, actually, I can't explain what was going on in his head. He never once told me to shut up. Like when I started talking about Israel and Palestine and all this, I know that every single time we had a meeting, he was so uncomfortable because he's Israeli Jew. And he's like, he wants me to talk, but at the same time, he's got all this like family and distant family and all this. And I just felt sorry for him. I told him, like, I just feel so sorry for you. Right. I know you're, on the right side. And, we avoided this conversation, but his support was not like, oh, Elizabeth, go talk about it. His support was, I'm going to shut up.
Right. And I think it's really also shown a light on Christian Zionists.
Yeah.
When we're talking about Zionists, let's be clear, the majority of them are Christian in America. And I'm sickened by them. I am sickened by the idea that I ever supported or platformed Ali Stuckey, right? As she is lecturing people perpetually and turning a blind eye to what is happening in Israel because she is convinced of some promise that, like, I don't know, she's going to be top goyim or something like that, top goy. And you sit here and you lecture people about abortion being wrong, murdering children being, but you go, but if it happens here, it's fine. Okay, now we're in Lebanon.
Yeah, and now it's okay to murder a 40-year-old. It's fine, because now it's for a cause, whatever that cause might be, right? It's just ridiculous. But okay, real quick, this is a deep question, but you can take it wherever you want. I always thought that Netanyahu was its own puppet in a way. And the real control was always here in the United States with the Zionists, like Christian Zionists and some Jewish Zionists, who knows? And because take Adelson or take Larry Fink or take all these people who are supporting this cause from afar. They're all here. In the United States. None of them choose to go and live in Israel. So the power is here. And even if, tomorrow Israel doesn't exist anymore, they are still just fine. They're going to survive. So do you think that it's driven by the deep state in here, what's going on with Israel? And Israel is just a fakely put together state as a tool, to carry out whatever they, need?
No, I think that their project is heavenly Jerusalem. I think greater Israel is the plan, and they want to expand and their borders from all the way through to Ukraine. Ukraine is a piece of this puzzle, an obvious piece of this puzzle. There's no war between Ukraine and Russia. There is a genocide of Christians taking place. They're just going to mass murder the Ukrainian Christians, and they're going to move other people in. That's the most obvious thing to me. There's no sense to what they're doing. It's just like, how are we going to do a genocide and make it look like it's not? Well, we're going to sign them up for war. That they know they're just going to kill a bunch of them, and then we're going to move in our people. And that is what makes the most sense, because what is today modern Ukraine used to be a very Jewish area. I mean, we could get into like Russian history and the Pale of Settlement.
Oh yeah, and you're not the only one who said that. There was actually a Russian politician who predicted this, who said, well, Ukraine will be prepped for the Jews, for this cabal that's operating behind the scenes. So yes, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Keep going. Yeah.
So that's the way that I see it. So in terms of Israel, I think you kind of have to go back to what was happening upon the European continent before that, and you got to go backwards to why this group of people who are now in Israel were being kicked out of so many nations. And I've been begging people who are studious and Jewish to look into this massive movement where they had a false messiah named Jacob Frank. Then this gets into Sabbatianism and Frankism. That is the key to everything. This is not Judaism at all. It's mystic Judaism, if you will. If you could say it's Jewish mystical tradition. Get into what Sigmund Freud was. This is where you're getting their initiation rites, the harming of children. This is not, it's mysticism, full stop. And studying Sabbatianism and Frankism made me understand what was happening. You had Frankists who were at war, by the way, with Jews. Everyone, no one wants to speak about this. This is
that are benefiting to a degree that we've never witnessed before, except one other time, which was in the turn of the century, in like the 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s, and with the Gilded Age and J.D. Rockefeller and the Standard Oil and that period of time.
Then what about the moment when you actually realize that you're not here by accident?
The key to greatness, the key to success is to get comfortable being.
And I think to myself, well, what's the solution right now? I think first thing is the realization that, there's no savior coming. There's no,
the speed these ants up some more. My God. Okay, 35.
Christ character of some political bent that is going to come and, fix everything and going to allow people to begin to talk to each other across the fence and, across the dinner table in any, near future we have. But if the problem can't be solved politically, then how's it going to be solved? Because it ain't getting any better. And if you have, if these people that I watch on your shows and I'm a armchair expert like everybody else on AI, but if you just listen to the people that are actually building these things, what is it? They think that there's a 20 to 30% chance that, super intelligence could cause a mass extinction event. And they think that, we're going to reach AGI in the next 3 years. And that AGI basically means that we're going to have anywhere from, 70 to 90% unemployment. And, and so at a time in which we're, as a human race, making an evolutionary step that supersedes every other evolutionary step that's ever occurred before, what is the most important thing that we could have? Leadership. And what do we have? We have utter and complete chaos right now. And at least from my perspective. And I don't, so I think, well, what can we do? Well, I listen to you. I listen to you talk to people that I don't necessarily in any obvious way agree with. Some, by the way, who have been really cruel to me personally. But I listen and try to figure out, is there any way that we can see eye to eye? Because we all need to wake up, man. Because what's the alternative? What's the alternative other than the dystopic vision that you just talked about?
Well, I think the unfortunate thing, Hunter, is a lot of people are hoping for that to happen, but they've never lived in that. So they don't know really what that's going to be like. And I don't even know what the fuck that's going to be.
There's a lot of tough guys out there. But, a lot of tough guys that think that they, they think that they, because they own some of the guns that you've shot in places where they will never have been, including myself. Let me give you an example, and I know that we're not the one thing I promised myself that I wouldn't do is I think people are so sick. Like, who gives a shit what Hunter Biden thinks about politics right now? But I can tell you just I can only talk about it from my personal experience and being witness to it in a very intimate way, and being a victim of it in some ways, and not a victim of it. That's a pretty lame way to say it. Being trapped by it, caged by it in many ways, not by any choice of my own. The president just put out that tweet, okay, whatever they call it, about Rob Reiner, okay? And somebody trying to break down the...
I don't know what the fuck it was.
They're storming the gates. They know I'm in here. They're going to rip you off air. Yeah.
What the fuck
no, anyway,
The tweet.
president put out that True Social thing.
Okay.
And
post.
everybody's like, God, it's just horrible taste, and it's beneath the president. You know, he basically blaming Rob Reiner's murder and his wife Michelle's murder on the fact that he is of Trump derangement syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says, you know, it's just like, has he lost his mind? Does he have, you know, the dementia and this and that? And, you know, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. What he's doing is this, what he's always done, is he's giving people a permission structure. Rob Reiner died violently because he opposed me. And I wish his family well, rest in peace. That's what he's saying. And in so doing, I think what he's basically saying is, you know what? Like, stand in my way, and this is what happens. And so 90% of people, I really believe 90% of people, even the supporters, 90% of the supporters goes like, oh, why did you say that? That's so cruel. 10%, what they hear is he got what he deserved. And I see him do that over and over again.
Yeah.
And it really worries me. And by the way,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there aren't people on the left that do the same goddamn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, you know,
does that too.
it turns my stomach then.
Yeah,
I
it
think
really
the difference
is.
is the president. The president has a responsibility. I
Mm-hmm.
think the most important responsibility of a president is not the, you know, other than, you know, the question of, you know, the deployment of force, is the tone that he sets for the country. More than any law, more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the tone that he sets.
I'm with you. I mean, it's, you know, it does, though. It comes from, you know, it's not just him. It you know, I mean, with the Charlie Kirk stuff and with the, you know, other assassination attempt on him and Butler, which actually they shut down the investigation on that for whatever reason. I don't know why you wouldn't want to know who tried to fucking kill you, but whatever, right? Nothing to see here. But, you know, I mean, when you have a political party that's continuously saying you're a Nazi, you know, a fascist, Nazi, he's like Hitler, you know what I mean? And then you got assassination attempts all over the fucking country, and it's
I know, but
like
Sean,
I said at the
I'm
beginning.
not, look, I don't want to get into like the argument over and I really mean it, but like I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But part of me also says, you don't want to be called a fascist, don't act like a fascist. And what I mean by fascism is this, is it deputizing a largest federal police force in history to go on America's streets, masked, without warrants, and drag pregnant women out of their cars in the snow and kneel on their backs, of sending people to prisons, death camps in El Salvador with no due process.
As he's coming after our rights, she's fighting back. State Rep Darshan Kendrick, protecting our elections, fighting to expand Medicaid, blocking Trump's agenda here in Georgia. Let's re-elect Darshan Kendrick, Democrat for State House.
Where he at?
Websites your competitors don't want you to know, part 2.
All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out exactly how much your competitors are
You just
making.
have to go with the flow.
I promise you
Look at that finger.
that I believe this with all my heart,
Look at that
is that
finger.
you and I don't have any distance between us in what we think about immigrants and immigration.
Okay.
How many immigrants did you serve with?
How many what?
Immigrants did you serve with?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
With. Okay.
Amazing people, right?
Mhm.
How about in your personal life? How many people around here or that are in this community that you're in, or when you were growing up, that are from immigrants? By the way, that may have bent the rules to be able to get in here, and they shouldn't have, and they should probably leave if they did. But I don't think that we have any disagreement that one of the things that makes this country an incredible country is immigration.
Child. You know, listen. He got to taste of his own medicine.
Yeah.
30% of every new business in the United States annually is started by an immigrant. 35% of the Fortune 100 CEOs in the United States of America, top 100 companies in America, are immigrants.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think, I guess I should, I can't even fucking say, I don't think anybody, for myself, you know, with the immigration thing, I think for me, the issue with the immigration stuff is how it's prioritized. So I'll give you an example. I know we need immigrants. I mean, we're building a studio, ice rolls through town. We couldn't get anybody to fucking work to finish building this out. This is about 3 months old. But point being, I mean, we have to have them. You know, we have to have them. They are the worker base now. It just is
also
what the
the
fuck it
engine to
is.
our economy.
But what I will say is when it comes to the prioritization, the stuff that I'm talking about, I mean, I think what for me specifically, I got no problem with immigration, and I think what's going on right now is also a fucking disaster. I think that before we go in and deport every single person that's come here, I think we need to fix the system on how you get in. It's fucked up. People can't get in. Good people can't get in. You know what I mean? But what's happened from my perspective, what I see is, you look, Hunter, we got all these guys coming home and women, from Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, 20 fucking plus years of war, right? Most of these people can't even get help in the VA. Can't even fucking get that. You know what I mean? Everybody knows there's a veteran suicide epidemic. It's 22 a day. It's been going on for more than a decade. Yep. We have a major suicide epidemic going on with veterans. We have a major addiction problem going on with veterans, PTSD, traumatic brain injury. I mean, you name it. Our people that spent 20 plus fucking years protecting this country can't get the help they need. But if you flip on the news, all you see is free hotels for immigrants in New York,
but Sean,
free healthcare, free this, free that. It's like, fuck, man, like we that's real pain fighting for this fucking country.
I got
you know
it.
what I mean?
I got it. If that's the dichotomy that you're presented with, okay.
There's that word. I love that dichotomy word. I don't know what it is, but it's something about that word that I just absolutely love. I think I had a quote for it. It was like the quote of the day for whenever it was. I don't know why I love that word, dichotomy. It just, but anyway, I'm coming up on about an hour and, hold on, give me a second, 40, give or take. And so I'm going to go ahead and give myself some cool down time. I'm going to get ready to wrap it up. Because, of course, I think we went on ahead and established, I got the mic. Because the way the algorithm was set up, it was doing a lot with me over here on OBS. It'd be like that sometimes. There's nothing really that I can do, to be quite honest. But we're going to get ourselves together. If you ask me, technically, that's what we were doing anyway, but it has been very interesting, to say the least. Just trying to get back into the swing of things. It's called The Evolution of a Content Creator. I may have to start like a little series or something. I may do like some pre-records. I may, because summertime is coming up, and I'm going to have to, figure out that summer schedule, things of that such. Get over there in the pre-record section. Live streaming is fun. I have nothing against live streaming. We just want to feed the algorithm in different ways. And so, of course, obviously, that's where the YouTube Shorts come in. This is why I like streaming on mobile device. Listen. Hold on. Just give me a second. I gotta get back to, because when I tell you, is that it? Because once I change it, it's going to take me 10 minutes to get back to it. She looking a little light. Let me see. And then that's too dark. Who is that? Purple? Because my, oh, there it is. Okay. Ooh, my eyes. I'm going to just keep it like that. I can't do too much with that light. That's because once it's time to log off, it be taking my eyes too much to readjust from that light ring. It be doing too much. And technically I was supposed to have on my glasses with the blue light filter, so it can sort of like help. Like I said, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things here. So please bear with me as we just continue on this live streaming journey, content creator journey. been fun, of course. Summertime is coming up here, and so let me get my eyes together. I'm going to be doing some landscaping here this week. We got rain and hail today. It was so interesting to be out during that time. You know, the 10 minutes that I ran around the corner, the Domino's, slid in the Family Dollar to get some drinks. Started raining and hailing. I was like, oh my goodness. Happy Sunday. We also have like some summer school and stuff coming up for Madison and Madeline. So they'll be occupied. We also have some preschool coming up here for summer preschool for Seth, as well as he begins to prepare himself for kindergarten here in August. We are working on teaching Koa how to walk. So we're going to be pretty busy. And so that's why I said that the live streaming should just be set for Sunday through Thursday. That gives me Friday and Saturday off. Technically, I would be asleep at this time. I would be asleep right now. And the reason why is because, well, technically, I would be watching a movie, to be quite honest. I ain't gonna lie. I would be watching a movie. But that's because I can't immediately fall asleep. My eyes. Especially if I was live streaming. Like if it's Friday and Saturday, I would just watch a movie until I get sleepy. Obviously, because then, like, my brain is so constantly, oh, I've been live streaming. I would usually be live streaming around this time, so I wouldn't really be sleepy. But I still have to, like, have some wind down time, and then, or not nap during the day. Give or take, you know, it's just, you always have to, like, learn how to have some flexibility about life when it comes to live streaming, when it comes to being a content creator and things of that such. And so for me, because I suck at pre-recording, editing, uploading, I totally suck at it. I have to live stream. I just suck at it. At least I'm honest with myself. Like, at least I'm honest enough to be like, I haven't gotten that advanced yet into my career as a content creator. But of course, nonetheless, at least I can live stream. That's why I don't worry about clothes. I don't worry about no wardrobe. Do I look like I'm finna get ready to be worried about that? No. Okay? All I want to worry about is going live. Get you a nice little thumbnail quote. I got you a ring light. I don't even think we had a ring light when I first started. I didn't have a phone stand when we first started. And don't forget the mic, because we just got, and we started with, I think what ended up happening, and this is just my assumption, but I think what ended up happening was I'm live streaming on 2 different channels, right? I'm live streaming mobilely on my phone, and I'm live streaming on OBS on my computer. 2 different channels, and I believe what ended up happening was when I would have both mics running, it kind of like that's just my assumption. But I did hear the audio on some of the live streams, and I thought that a microphone would help. We ordered the microphone, waited for it to get delivered. We tried it out, and it didn't work. And so obviously we had to pivot. We do not mind making any minor adjustments, any necessary adjustments, especially when it comes to audio. Visually is great, but audio, ma'am, I need that audio for sure. We can always cut the camera off and just go audio only. I just think that as far as the aesthetics, hey, you can have the camera on. I don't mind having a camera on. I'm just saying, like, I could always cut the camera off and just, have the audio going. But nonetheless, Sunday through Thursday, we'll live stream. Fridays and Saturdays, I'll give those the day off. Obviously, I'm going to end up finish watching these 2 interviews. You know how that goes. I have to get back to them. I'll be finished with that by Thursday, hopefully. 5 hours. Who has that much camera footage? Did they have to stop and go to another I don't know. It just threw me off when I saw 5 hours. Because I was like, how long did that take to upload to YouTube? Because I tried to upload a YouTube short Friday, and it's still saying that it's uploading. Technically it says that the video had been deleted, but I said I was just gonna leave it alone, and I was just gonna let it go. Because in life, that's just one thing that you just have to learn how to do, is let things go. And so it gets a little easier and easier as you get older. You just learn how to let stuff go, because it's easier on the brain. It's easier on the mental to just let stuff go and not let stuff bother you. I guess sometimes the brain is so hardwired that it's not as easy as we think to do stuff, because the brain has a way of doing and wanting and operating in its own capacity. And you always have to sort of untrain, retrain your brain. Like, okay, just let the shit go. Okay, I get it. Just let it go. Naps are really great. If you can't let stuff go, just take a nap. And usually that'll help. Usually just taking a nap, it will just help me to let whatever it is go. And when you wake up and it's the first thing that comes to your mind, you're like, okay, don't start. Just let it go. And so I'm telling you, it took all weekend for me to just slowly let it go. Slowly let it go. And over time, I will Trust me, I will. It's just the brain. It has this ability to not let ish go as easy as we want it to. And so I'm okay with it. Trust me, I am. I went into the YouTube app and recorded the video, the YouTube short. I changed the settings to 3 minutes, right? I didn't even use no background, nothing fancy. And I was just sitting on the sofa. I had just finished painting outside. I had this little area that I was painting. I had some leftover white paint, and I was outside and I was painting. I had just came back inside. I had ran out of paint. I didn't have no rolling brushes or anything like that. I ended up getting that Saturday. But Friday, it was just this spur of the moment thing. I was like, oh, I want to paint. I need to paint. I'm going to go and paint. And so I was painting. I only had like this little one brush. It wasn't even for like outside. It was just for the inside. I was just going to like paint a door or paint a cabinet or something like that. Yeah, I just bought a brush and I was like, okay, I have this desire to paint. And so I'm going to paint. I'm going to find something to paint. It's a painter thing. Like, it's a painter thing. I think that's why I'm connected to Hunter, because he's a painter. And so when you have this desire to paint, it's this feeling, it's this urge. It's like, okay. And so I got back inside. I was finished. The headphones had just arrived, and I was like, okay, let me do a sound check. Let me do a little sound check. I got the headphones. We're going to be good once Sunday come. I went into the YouTube app. I recorded it, and then I uploaded it, and then I walked away. I actually recorded it on my regular phone. What is it called? Data. No Wi-Fi. I have like a Wi-Fi phone, and then I have like a data phone, the Verizon phone. And so I record, because obviously I had to record it on the data phone because it's USB-C. These are not iPhone. They iPhone, but they iPhone USB-C, not iPhone old school. And no shade, because I do have an iPhone old school, but I'm just saying they sell both now. And so I'm like, okay. Recorded the YouTube short, and I just left it alone. I came back to check in the YouTube Studio app, because I had the Studio app downloaded on my on my Wi-Fi phone, because I was trying to pre-schedule the YouTube shorts so that they could keep pumping out as well on the back end. Like an hour went by, 30 minutes or something, and I'm checking on the YouTube short to make sure, that they got posted and stuff like that. 3 hours to upload. I'm like, didn't think anything of it. I just was like, well, it's Friday, might be busy. And then before I put everybody to bed, (2 hours and 25 minutes, and then it just stalled. It stayed like that since today, as you can see. And I'm like, so irritated, because what did they say? Story of my life, right? Which is not, I'm not saying it in a negative capacity. I'm just saying as far as understanding your life, or understanding my life in this particular scenario, right? Like I have learned to accept the things that happen to me in my life, because I have to mentally learn how to just let stuff go. Which is, of course, how I learned how to vlog, to be quite honest. or live stream, to be quite honest, too, because, you know, five plus years ago, when we was able to just go live on YouTube and just hash it out, and that was the days. Those were the days. I mean, and so 5+ years later, here I am again, still at it, just, you know, hashing it out with myself and my thoughts, and trying, of course, just not to take things personally. Like, I've just learned how to not take things personally, which has helped, to say the least. Like, I can admit it has helped, because why? What's the benefit of taking things personally when something happens to you, or when something don't happen to you, or, you know, when you don't get your way? What's the point of taking it personally? It's the brain that we just have to untrain to not take things so personally. And I will admit, I did take it personal now. It's a 3-minute YouTube short. I'm like, I don't have 3 minutes to just be throwing in the trash. Excuse me. I don't know about you, but I don't have 3 minutes to be thrown in the trash. But nonetheless, I digress. And so, with that being said, I'll be here tomorrow, because I know Candace is going to be, God's willing, she'll be here tomorrow. Keep her prayed up. Because now I'm so, the reason I started with Sammy, when I saw that YouTube short, that clip from his segment, is because when I first saw the clip, like I said, I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday. It was one of those days where I saw it. Must have been yesterday. When I saw the clip, I immediately thought to myself, because obviously this isn't the first time that we've heard this theory. I can't remember. It could have been like a couple months ago, where someone was talking about that exploding mic. And, you know, we just kept brushing it off, like, oh, no. And we just kept, I just kept brushing it off, because I'm like, no. I was looking at the footage, and I'm like, oh, I see. But then we saw that clip, that picture of the back of the car. And we saw all of that broken plastic glass, whatever that was. And we couldn't figure out what the hell that was on the back seat of the car, on the, you know, and it wasn't that much, you know, blood for a gunshot wound. I mean, there was some blood, but it wasn't like, you know. So I'm laying in the bed and I'm thinking to myself, how are they, for one, going to convince this jury that there was a gunshot wound that came from a 30-06 and that Tyler was the shooter? I'm thinking to myself, well, if he didn't die from a gunshot wound, then how did we get Tyler Robinson? Where did Tyler Robinson come from? and all these random patsies here and there and everywhere. I don't know. Now I'm just confused. If it was an exploding mic, clearly the autopsy isn't going to exemplify or confirm a gunshot wound, right? And then Tyler Robinson's defense, they got it cut out for them. I'll just leave it there, because what would be the point of trying to frame? I guess that's the main question. What is the point of trying to frame Tyler Robinson? I mean, I guess it's only right, because if they want the theory to be believed, then you gotta have a shooter. Why Tyler? I don't know. I wonder why they just didn't have it one of those freak accidents. Wouldn't that have been better, easier? But then listen. This is the most critical point. Because if there was no, if this turns out to be true, that it was a explosive device in his microphone, then where the hell did this sound come from? Where did the sound effects come from? Where did this gunshot sound come from? Who had a PA? Who played that on the PA system? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, who played this gunshot sound on the PA system? If there was no gun and it was an explosive device, I guess that's what really kind of threw me off, because I'm like, well, we heard the sound. Obviously, there had to be a sound if you wanted to be believed that it was a gun that was shot. But then there was an exploding mic. What did that exploding mic make that sound? Couldn't have, right? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, where did the sound come from? You can't have a gunshot going off and an exploding mic going off at the same time, can you? I mean, technically you could, but where would the gun have shot if it didn't shoot Charlie Gard? I don't know. Listen, I know. Trust me, I know. In the meantime, in between time, happy Sunday. Well, be back Monday, tomorrow. I can't say bright and early, but, and I don't have no time. I don't listen. The way my life's set up, I don't do all that. 9 o'clock sharp, 10 o'clock, 10:30. I just get here when I get here, and I see you when I see you. Cause, kids, life. It don't work like that. At least for me, it don't. Kudos to everybody who it does work for like that, but for me, it don't. But in the meantime, between time.